I'm asked a lot, well, how did you start piano lessons, So oddly enough, I was living, my family was living at the time in Asheville, North Carolina, the one that just got all that bad weather. And yeah, West Asheville. And we rented a house that was furnished. And it happened to have a piano. Now, it was one of those old pianos that was, tall, and actually I thought it had a beautiful sound, not like the, acrosonics and things like that, which were around at the time. And so, luckily, next door to us was a lady who was a shut-in, and she just sat at her piano, at her window, which was right opposite my window, and just a driveway in between. And I moved in there when I was 4, and she played constantly. So then I realized that I could match her tones. So all the songs that she played, I would play on my piano. But my dad said, oh, well, we don't give piano lessons until you're 6 years old. So I had to wait, but I played a lot of songs just by ear all that time. And I think that was probably pretty good because I was really straining to hear every little note she played. And then after that, I got a wonderful piano teacher for a year and a half before we moved to Charleston, South Carolina. And Charleston was a wonderful place to grow up as a budding pianist because they really considered themselves very artistic in Charleston. And they should, because they had their own orchestra, and which I got to play with 3 times. And then they had really good schools that prepared kids for, Smith and Vassar and all those private schools in the north. And so it was a really good climate to grow up in for me. And and then I went to the University of South Carolina, graduated in 3 years, and then got to study in Italy for a year on the Fulbright, and that was really wonderful. And funny thing is, I was a little Southern girl who had never lived on her own, or we didn't even go out to dinner much in those days. We just stick at home, and I had no fear of that big city, Rome. I just felt so comfortable there. I felt very safe. And I would go to the opera at night by myself, come back at night by myself. I can't believe I did that. I would never do that in New York when I went there a few years after that. But anyway, it was really interesting. And then I studied at Columbia in the Teachers College and worked with Robert Pace for a few years. And then got a job at the University of Illinois, and that was really very fun. And I got to play with so many good musicians there. I would, do all kinds of chamber music, and then led the camps in the summertime. And then after 3 years there, I got married to a fabulous man, Bernard Shaak, and I realized right off the bat that he absolutely loved children, and he just spent so much time with talking and letting them talk with children, and they just expressed so much. And then he would start, composing things for them. So then he had his own method, and we would work on that together. And then we had our own studio, and we had our 3 girls, Leslie, Kim, and Jamie, and they all played piano and other instruments as well too. And then the rest is sort of history. Yeah. We came to Denver, and that was a very lucky break because we had Bob Baker to help us out with all of our music purchases, and we bought, I guess, several pianos over at your studio, Bob, and just enjoyed them so much. I guess that's my history right there.